Hello there, Virgo. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of January the 13th through the 19th. I am pulling one card per day, and we'll see what comes up on the cards and also what shows up in my psychic nudges as well, so that we can get a sense of the themes for the days as we go through the week. Those of you who would like to support this channel, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link down below in the description. Those of you who would like to schedule private readings with me, my website is below. You can find all my contact information there and all the information about my services. So we have everything covered in the description box. Let's get into your cards. All right. Monday, what we have showing up first is the Moon card. The Moon card is telling me that on Monday there's something going on where you kind of know that there's a rat in the woodpile. You just can't find the rat type of thing. There's some missing information here. And you're recognizing that not everything is adding up, but that doesn't mean that you can put your fingers on that missing information. Okay, so that's what we have going on Monday. Now, Virgos, looking at Tuesday, we have the Empress showing up in reverse. And the Empress in reverse is saying that you're manifesting exactly the opposite of what you want. You're basically manifesting what you're afraid of. Okay. And why is that happening when we've got the Empress in reverse? That's happening because you really do want something, but you're a lot more afraid of the opposite actually happening or something different actually being the outcome. And so instead of focusing your thoughts towards what you actually want, you're letting your thoughts focus you on what you're afraid of or what you're feeling anxious about. And so that's how you're manifesting that thing that you exactly do not want on Tuesday. So if you catch yourself focusing that way, even on Monday earlier in the week, even now, if you catch yourself focusing on really anything that you're anxious about or that you don't want, you know you don't want it or you're afraid of it, then if you can't think a positive thought about that situation, which is that's the ideal. But if you can't get there, and sometimes we can't, then you want to at least shift your focus onto something else so that you slow down some of that momentum and you're not bringing this thing in, quickly. You can slow it down on coming in, and maybe you can even, kind of push it off to the side by focusing on something completely different. Okay? Focus on the good things. Focus on the good things. That helps us. Now, let's move on to Wednesday. So, Virgo's Wednesday, you have a fantastic card, Wheel of Fortune. This is wonderful. It talks about timing being correct. So if there's something that you've been wondering, like, what is the right time for me to do this thing? Wednesday's the day. That's basically that. Also, you may have some opportunities that come to you that are really good on Wednesday. But just generally, the biggest thing that I'm picking up on that for Wednesday for you guys is that this is really good timing for you to do something that you've been kind of waiting for that right time. Now, Thursday. Thursday is really interesting because what we have showing up here is the Two of Cups in reverse. And the Two of Cups in reverse basically says that there's something that you used to be fascinated by, drawn into. You wanted to know it better. Or if it's a person, you wanted to know them better. You just kind of couldn't spend enough time with them. And now with the Two of Cups in reverse, we see that now you could kind of take it or leave it, or take them or leave them, whatever the case may be for each of you. And in fact, you probably would rather leave it. Like you've probably got other things you'd rather spend your time on than whatever this is that had your attention, that had your fascination, that was drawing you in. And Thursday, you're realizing that. You're realizing the appeal is kind of gone. The sparkle is off. All right, so let's look at Friday. Friday, what we have showing up here, Virgos, is the Six of Swords coming up in reverse. Six of Swords in reverse tells me that you're doing some kind of lifestyle change. So this is generally a lifestyle change. Obviously, it's not something we're doing for a day or two. This is something that we plan to continue forward. And a lifestyle change generally will have something to do with improving the quality of your life right now and possibly even giving you the potential to extend your life as well. So a lot of times we'll see these for health changes. Sometimes we'll see them for mindset changes, but doing a change, a lifestyle change on Friday. Now let's look at the weekend. Okay, Virgos. The weekend, first of all, you start off on Saturday. You've got the High Priestess showing up in reverse. High Priestess in reverse is basically saying there's something going on that has you really confused on Saturday. This is, I don't know up from down type of confusion. It's pretty profound confusion. For me, the High Priestess, when she shows up right side up, that's somebody like me. That's somebody that knows some stuff that, we really have no right to know. We're just curious. We just ask the questions and the information comes. But, we haven't exactly earned that information, so to speak. But when she comes up in reverse, that High Priestess says, man, I am so confused. I can't even read for myself. I have no objectivity. I just don't even know what to think about this situation. I'm kind of all over the map with what I think about this situation. That's what we see coming in for you on Saturday. There's going to be something that you just don't know what to think. And you might be like all over the map on what you think given any different moment. So let's look at Sunday. We don't really have a big surprise here because on Sunday we see you coming up in your own mojo, the Hermit. So Virgo, this is a good omen. I always think it's a good omen when you come up with your own card, whether it's in the court cards or in the major arcana. It means you're doing your thing. You're doing you. You're in your own mojo. It's a good deal. So when the Hermit shows up on Sunday, I do think you're taking a step back from the world. You're spending some time alone. You're sort of evaluating yourself. You're really analyzing, what makes me happy? What makes me sad? What makes me tick? What triggers me? You might even get really ambitious and deactivate a trigger or two. Maybe, That Hermit card is really good forward movement. I always call it my pre-reading card, actually, because when we get to know ourselves really deeply, as part of the human experience, we share a lot of commonalities with other people, no matter what their signs are. And so when we get to know ourselves really deeply, then we can recognize some of our patterns in other people when they are operating in those same patterns. And so I call it pre-reading because once you notice those patterns, you can kind of tell when you see somebody using some of the same words you do or sort of thinking the same way that you do right before you make a certain decision or whatever. You can kind of tell where a person is going just because you're recognizing some patterns. That's why I call it pre-reading. It's not really reading, it's just pattern recognition. So you're not really picking up the energy. But still, if you would tell somebody the things that you would predict about them, they would think you're reading them. They would think that unless you told them otherwise. So this is really getting to know you on a deep level. And when we come out of hermit mode, then what happens is we're coming out with a new perspective on things, new priorities. And so when we come out of this, we're ready to start acting on those new priorities moving forward. All right, I don't know when you're coming out of this. I do see you strongly in hermit mode on Sunday. Are you coming out of this on Monday when you go to work? I don't know. Are you taking Monday off? I don't know. We're not looking at the next week. But I do see you doing some hermit-type self-work on Sunday. All right, so that's what I have for the week. Thank you very much for being here, Virgo. If I don't see you sometime during the week for either a reading or a Reiki session or a mentoring session, then I'll see you guys back on the next video. Everyone have a great week. Peace out.